Hi everyone, I'm Diana Larson. Great to have you here for Module 2. Today we'll dive into how UDRP cases work and what makes them successful. It's clear, practical, and key to protecting brands online. Let's get started. Imagine waking up to find your brand's domain name hijacked. UDRP is your shield against such threats, safeguarding digital assets and brand integrity. It's a crucial tool for legal professionals navigating the digital landscape. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to do 3 important things. First, explain the structure of the UDRP process. Second, identify the key deadlines and timelines involved. And third, understand the roles of the different parties involved in a UDRP case. Let's begin. The UDRP is an administrative process. That means it's handled outside of court, under the authority of ICANN. It was designed specifically to resolve disputes over domain names, especially cases where someone is abusing a trademark. It's much faster and cheaper than filing a lawsuit, and it's based entirely on written submissions. There are no in-person or oral hearings.
There are 5 main parties involved in a UDRP proceeding. First, the complainant, who is usually a trademark holder. Second, the respondent, who currently owns the disputed domain name. Third, the provider, such as WIPO or the forum, which handles the administration of the case. Fourth, the panel, which is made up of 1 or more neutral experts who decide the case. And finally, registrar, the entity with which the respondent has registered a domain name that is the subject of a complaint.
Let's walk through the process. It starts when the complainant files a complaint with an approved dispute resolution provider. The provider first reviews the complaint for administrative compliance. If there are deficiencies, the provider notifies the complainant and gives them a short period to correct the issues. Once the complaint is deemed complete and compliant, the provider formally notifies both the respondent and the domain name registrar. The respondent then has 20 calendar days to submit a written response. Next, the provider appoints a panel within about 5 to 7 days after the response deadline. The panel reviews all submitted materials and issues a decision within 14 days. Once the decision is made, it is communicated to the registrar and the parties. The decision is implemented after a 10 business day waiting period, unless a party files a court action during that time.
To start a case, the complainant submits their complaint to an approved dispute resolution provider. The complaint must include key elements like the domain name in dispute, the basis for the claim, evidence of bad faith, and the remedy being sought. The UDRP rules, specifically paragraph 3b, outline exactly what the complaint must contain. And of course, the complainant must pay a filing fee.
After the complaint is reviewed, it's sent to the respondent. The respondent then has 20 calendar days to submit a written response. If the respondent doesn't reply, the case proceeds by default, meaning the panel may rule in favor of the complainant. Respondents can also request a short extension under Rule 5, if needed. Once the response is in or once the deadline has passed, the provider appoints a panel. The panel can be either a single expert or a group of 3. Panelists are chosen from a public list maintained by the provider. If there's a 3-member panel, both the complainant and the respondent get to submit preferences for who they want to include. The panel issues its decision within 14 days of being appointed. The panel may decide to transfer the domain name, cancel it, or deny the complaint entirely. Once the decision is made, it is communicated to the registrar. There's a 10 business day delay before the registrar acts on the decision. This gives either party time to file a court action if they disagree with the outcome. Let's quickly summarize the timeline. Complaint review typically takes 3 to 5 days. The respondent has 20 calendar days to reply. The panel is appointed within 5 to 7 days after that. The panel has 14 days to issue a decision. Then there's a 10 business day wait before implementation. These strict timelines are a big reason why the UDRP process is so efficient.